Game Show, presented by Kia.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm joined by Shaq and the Jet. Tonight's broadcast will feature the Pheonix Suns as they go up against the Houston Rockets at Toyota Center. Looking at Houston, the game tonight marks their second of 4 meetings they will play this season, and they come into this one feeling pretty good after winning the last time they met. And Shaq, we're coming up to the halfway point of the season. Some teams finally getting into a groove after a somewhat shaky start.
Yeah, every year is different. Sometimes it takes a little longer to figure out. But what's most important is you get hot at the right time.
Oh, that's right. I agree with that. And you have to have a lot of experience on your team. And those guys know how to pace themselves. And you can just kind of relax. Quality veterans won't allow the season to be a sprint. It's a marathon.
Tip-off coming up shortly. It's time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Suns come into a Western Conference contest in this game. Well, the holidays always bring us some incredible NBA action. That's certainly what we have in store for us today. Along with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, I'm Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge, our sideline reporter. And the news about Trevor Ariza, covered and ready to get back into the thick of things.
Yeah, and the fans have been waiting for this moment really all game. I'll bet they're going to let him know how happy they are to have him back on the court. He's really worked hard to return to the lineup as quickly as possible, and I know he's been waiting for this day.
Yeah, and and what's surprising is how many guys have stepped up in his absence, but obviously they're thrilled to have him back.
And it's the Suns to start out. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court for the Suns, Booker is the 2 with Tucker at the 3. Prez out there with Bender. And it's Young in at the 1 spot.
And you got to admire the attitude of Prez, staying with his shot despite the D being all over.
We've seen a lot of unhappy players leaving the Suns in recent seasons. Might be addition Doris by subtraction.
Well, Kevin, I don't know. The front office admitted that perhaps they'd made a mistake and should have held on to all-star Isaiah Thomas, but chemistry is so critical. You need players pulling in the same direction, willing to make the team better. And hopefully, the change in personnel gets them back on track.
No good from outside. Pheonix on defense, coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
A long and tiring game, made worse, obviously, by the fact they ended up in the second overtime falling short, which can be a real morale killer.
Here's Prez. James Harden picking up that last basket. Bender the pass to Tucker. Out to the right wing. Prez kicks to Young. Pocket 6. Prez with the screen for Young. Pheonix needs to get off a shot. Prez, no good.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
I'll tell you what, though, he'll take that every time. That's a great look.
Now, here is Harden. Playing Memphis, he was nearly unstoppable. Ariza outside. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum. And you know what? Just a little too much heat on that pass for him to come up with the steal.
I think in his mind he was already going in the other direction, but you have to make the play first.
Now here's Booker. 17 points for him last game against Philadelphia.
That's another miss. Already they've missed 3 out of 4 to start. And how about the presence of mind of Bender going right back up with the shot after collecting that offensive rebound?
The Suns shooting their first free throw of the night here. And for a team with as much talent as the Rockets have had over the last few seasons, the results have been pretty mixed.
Yeah, and look at the club's recent rosters. I mean, they've been filled with a couple mega stars and then everyone else. At some point, you have to look past all the individual stuff and make the commitment as a team to play for each other. Unselfish, fundamental basketball.
And Young kicks to Prez. And a look at Prez there, just punishing the rim.
Oh, and you love the ferocity that Prez finished that playoff with. No layups for the big fella.
Nene at the elbow. Harden sets the big four. Nene. Young against Beverly. Out of bounds. Pheonix will take possession. And here are the top free throw shooting teams this month. You don't want to put these guys in the line too often. In second, the Rockets.
And they've had a lot of success at the free throw line, converting those at a high level. So I'd look for them to continue to attack the rim.
Prez kicks to Bender. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for two. It's on Nene.
And given Bender's huge size, the defense has to be rough with him inside. If not, he's going to have a field day down low.
And this is his second trip to the line tonight.
Well, for Pheonix, it's been a little bit of a lull here, right? Remember, this was a team that came out of nowhere to win 48 games back in 2014, and the Suns are hoping they can make that leap again. This time, they want to sustain it.
And the Rockets making a change here. Capella's checked in, and out of bounds. Last touch by Ariza. Here's Young. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against Philadelphia.
You also have to credit his passing. He constantly found his teammates wide open, carving up the defense.
Now, here is Young. It's a three-point game. Feeds to Prez. And Tucker has it in the corner. Nailed from three-point land. You look back at that 2014 season, the Suns caught lightning in a bottle. What happened, Doris, that caused them to tumble?
You know, Kevin, personnel-wise, the roster pretty similar the next season. They add Isaiah Thomas and lost Channing Frye. That's a trade that most GMs would probably make, but the three-point guard backcourt didn't seem to work out. Seemed like chemistry issues started to emerge at that point.
And they can't allow him too many open looks like that. That's just inviting trouble.
And Young kicks to Booker. Back to Young. Down low. From past the arc. And there's Booker on the assist from Tucker. Booker's got himself going there. His first points of the game.
Get over here, guys. Hustle up. Let's talk. Our effort on Harden is not good enough, gentlemen. He's orchestrating their entire offense from the outside.
Drafted back by the Raptors in '06, bounced around various leagues for 6 years before finally making it back to the NBA.
The Suns making a change here. Knight's checked in. Craps in the tray. Ariza's got 6 points.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Come on, as a defender, you have got to fight harder to get through that screen and stay with your man.
Now, here's Tucker. He's coming off a 16-point game against Philadelphia.
And don't forget about his work on the glass. I mean, he contributed in a number of ways.
It's the three-point bomb. And Doris, the story with Tucker is one of perseverance. He has a great story to tell. So many times he could have given up on his dream to come back to the NBA, but he kept improving on his game, and it's worked out for him.
But how cool is it, Kevin, that Tucker went to leagues in 6 different countries during his journey, and while playing in Europe was able to win a title and was the finals MVP. Never give up attitude is all you see with him.
Houston with a big group substitution here. Montejunas is checked in for Beasley. Brewer comes in for Trevor Ariza. Gordon's checked in for James Harden. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Patrick Beverly. It's going to be out of bounds. The Suns will retain possession. Now we'll go to David Aldridge, who spoke with Mike D'Antoni. David.
Well, Kevin, they have a specific approach to tonight's game. He told me they have to get the ball into the paint as much as possible and take advantage of what they believe is a big inch for them inside. Let's see if they're right about that tonight. Back to you.
Thanks, David. Now here's Prez. He's coming off a 19-point game against Philadelphia.
And don't discount the defensive presence, guys. He racked up 3 blocks for the game.
Now Gordon. following the miss by Prez from deep.
And when you look at the Rockets, I mean, plenty of offense, but last year there was a huge drop-off defensively. And given this team's lofty goals, that really flies right in the face of that old adage, defense wins championships.
And talking about how the Rockets are structured, they do have some players on the roster, Greg, who can play defense. It's a wonder they've been so bad at that end.
I mean, the problem with defense, though, Kevin, is that it takes all 5 guys to buy in. You have to have a level of trust on the floor, and that happens for the Rockets only once in a while, which is why they give up an insane number of points to their opponents.
Here's Yunus following the basket by Prez. Takes the 13-footer, and the jumper is good.
All right, he's got to quit while he's ahead. He got away with it there, but the crossover usually gets him into a bit of trouble.
Back to Young. To the right side. Here's Tucker. They get it again.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Kicks it out to Gordon. 1:21 left to play in the first. Puts up a 3. Some solid defense from Knight. Suns leading by 4. Prez dishes to Young. Prez passes to Knight. There's the pick. And he sinks the shot coming off the strong pick.
Well, one of the things you think that makes Knight so effective, the size and the timing to get his shot off against pressure.
And Brewer kicks to Gordon. Back to Brewer. Prigioni, the pass to Yunus. Gordon for 3. That doesn't go either for Gordon. 2 for 1 opportunity here if they want it.
And no doubt, Kevin, if I'm them, I go for it.
And Tucker kicks to Bender. The jump hook and off the front iron, and in it goes. And it's an 8-point Suns lead.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
To the middle, here's Brewer.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
For Houston, they have missed both free throws they've attempted tonight.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
Here's Young. They lead by 11, the largest margin of the game. And Pheonix looking who they've got on the floor. Prez in at power forward. Evan Booker out there with Young. Then there's Bender, and it's Chris in at the 3 spot. Houston's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And Beverly kicks to Ariza. There's the pass to Nene. There's the dish to Beverly. And the lead is down inside single digits. Beverly's got his first 3 points of the game.
Well, great vision by Nene, right? I mean, if you're the help defensive guy, you can't leave your man. He's that good a passer.
Chris pass to Prez. And, certainly the culture of the NBA and basketball has seen some shifts over the last couple of decades. Of course, when you look at the game today, how do you think it's changed? And where do you think it's going?
But I think from a strategy standpoint, the biggest change in the NBA culture is that it's going smaller and faster. It's trending toward positionless players where guys can shift among 3-4 positions at a time. And then the other part of the neat thing is in this day and age of social media, from the off-the-court stuff, we're starting to see these guys become fashion icons.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Gotta believe they'll hear about it in that next time out. They have to box out better.
Here's Chris. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's Prez. Again, Pheonix.
You're so efficient on the catch and shoot there. You gotta love how Prez just squares up and delivers.
Harden dishes to Beasley. And it's Beasley finishing it off.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Yeah, and an example of why you want to let the game come to you. The opening presented itself, he converted in a big way.
Prez kicks to Young. Pass to Chris. Shot clock at 5. Stolen by Beverly. And here we go. Beverly heading to the hoop. It's good. Beverly's got 5 points now this quarter.
and made possible by a heads-up play defensively at the other end.
Now here's Prez. 10 points for him. Excellent from Beasley.
I thought for sure he would hit that shot, but his release didn't look good.
Beasley with a screen on Young. Beverly off target from three-point range. Suns leading by 6. Booker outside. Inside. Prez with the ball. He's up against Beasley. Prez with the bucket.
And Prez scores from anywhere, inside, outside. This guy does it all.
Beverly the pass to Ariza. Launches a three, and the officials call over the back. A little too aggressive there.
Well, he's got to watch himself. 2 fouls here early in the second. Another would probably send him to the pine.
P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Pheonix. Out of bounds, Pheonix takes possession. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Prez in their last game against the 76ers, he was definitely a factor. He ended up with 19 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what became a great exhibition on his part. A surprise attack from a guy who's typically viewed as a role player. See if he can continue to play a larger role in tonight's game.
All right, David, thank you so much. He couldn't have been much better in that game, could he, GA?
Now that's how we play the game. Bring it in. Let's go. I like what I see out there, fellas. We're playing like we want it more than them. Remember, you're my Pippen and you're my Jordan. Finish this game like they will.
Being one of the top 2 or 3 players in the entire draft class.
Well, I think, Kevin, for Booker, a lot of people slept on him because of his college team. Came out of Kentucky, and that team was loaded with talent, headlined by Karl Anthony Towns. He was actually the 4th player off that team to be drafted. Insane that he went just 13th.
Nene, the screen. A shot by Harden. Wide open. Kept alive by Houston. Second shot opportunity. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Harden's got 11.
Boy, working as hard as he can on the offensive end, and he's willing points for this team.
And Booker kicks to Prez. To the inside. Here's Chris. Cans the 12-footer. And the Suns lead by 10. A minute 50 left in the first half. Beverly against Young. Ariza outside. Pulls up. Offensive rebound. And there's the call on Nene. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Clint Capella, he's checked in for the Rockets. Pablo Prigioni comes in for Patrick Beverly. And Pheonix also making a switch. Brandon Knight, he's checked in for Booker. Tonight over to the left wing. Young outside, and Young just drilling the 3 there. Nice look.
Right, baby. Yeah, and that's the shot that's dropping for Young when he is playing with confidence.
We've got 1:08 left in the second quarter. From deep, Harden sinks the triple. Harden's got 9 points now in the quarter.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
Boy, both teams really attacking from downtown right now. This is a long-range battle at the moment.
A shot. It's good. Only a few seconds into the shot clock. He's got 16.
I'll tell you, he's doing everything scoring-wise this period to try to keep them in it.
Knight dishes to Prez. Inside, here's Chris. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And the Suns going through the longest playoff drought in the franchise's history. 6 seasons, Doris. And the first half is now in the books. The Suns on top. They lead by 12. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Tyson. Looks like 2 different teams after the loss. What's the difference?
Well, we just can't allow them to stay around close. You know, last night we had a letdown. Tonight we got to do a better job of getting down, staying our ground, playing defense, and taking advantage of this game.
Dyson, thanks a lot for your time. See you in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following.
All right, gentlemen, hustle up. That was a great first half. I love the energy, fellas. I really do. But now we got to keep it up and stay focused. Just do what you've been doing, and it's smooth sailing. Let's go. Come on.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first two quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
Yeah, for the most part, he took only good shots. And given his success, they may want him to be a bit more aggressive in the second half.
Harden and Ariza, the athletic wing pair. Nene is out there with Beasley. And it's Beverly in at the 1. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Prez passes to Young. He feeds it to Booker. The 3 buries the long-range jumper. Booker's got 5 points in the quarter.
Mechanics, soft touch. Booker will be deadly from beyond the arc for a long, long time.
Beasley the screen, and Beverly kicks to Ariza. Back to Beverly. Beasley the screen, Ariza outside. Another miss by Houston.
Not what they were looking for. 3 straight misses to start the third.
Here's Bender. And a miss there on the triple. Rockets trail by 17. Beasley dishes to Beverly. Stolen by Tucker. Takes the 13-footer. Another one falls for Pheonix.
Great beginning to this second half. Now 3 for 4 from the field.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Beverly with the ball. Now guarded by Booker. Harden draws the double. Here's Nene. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Obviously a different role for Nene these past few seasons. This was once one of the better starting centers in the league. Now he only starts in spots, and he just doesn't seem to have the same impact on the game.
Young passes to Bender, and they pick up 2.
That's just tremendous focus from Bender, just taking the hit and still knocking down the shot.
And with Nene, you think back to when he was able to plant himself on a blocked doors and just get any shot he wants through sheer strength and force, but not anymore.
Well, I think the one thing, Kevin, you can say is Nene still gives you good efficiency as a post player in terms of his productivity. The problem is with the way the game is moving, it's harder to find him guaranteed minutes. Obviously, there are quicker and more versatile options at the power forward.
Doris being able to create in half-court sets is something that doesn't come easy in the NBA. Just how valuable do you think it is to have a strong half-court offense?
Well, you think about the most important time of the year in the NBA, Kevin, and that's the playoffs. And what happens in the playoffs, the game slows down. It becomes a slogfest. And so execution is crucial. The habits you build over the course of the regular season, you know, obviously you can get in transition and you hope to generate easy buckets. But the reality is NBA schemes are so good, you better be able to execute in half court.
And everybody knows what you're running, but you're right, execution becomes the key.
To me, it's like the trap in football, right? If you block these 2 guys, you are going to pick up 2 or 3 yards. And as good as the defenses and schemes are in the NBA, we're talking about the best players in the world. You set a good screen in a pick and roll situation, and Chris Paul is coming off, guess what? Something good's going to happen.
Only Doris Burke is going to bring up football and basketball in the same answer. I love this. Great analogy. Jared Dudley's checked in for the Suns. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
And Bender's one of those guys just oozing with potential. A big man who runs the floor well and uses his size down close to the basket.
Kicks it to Prez. Trying his luck deep. It's rebounded by Houston. Beverly's got 4 rebounds in this game. Ariza outside. Back to Beverly. Harden outside. From outside the arc. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
Unbelievable. This guy is completely in a zone.
Prez kicks to Young. There's the screen. And right away, they match it with a 3-pointer of their own. Young's got 5 points now this quarter.
Way to work, gentlemen. Let's go now. Hustle up. Listen up. We have these guys back on their heels. And now they're playing like they're desperate.
And the backcourt players tonight for Houston.
And the story of this game has been the role players stepping up when needed. OJ has had an overall so-so performance, but the rest of the players on the floor have picked up the slack and done everything they can to ensure that they'll walk away here with a win.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. From 15 feet away, Prez with the rebound.
Boy, he almost never misses that shot, guys. But you know he'll take it again if he gets another good look.
And Booker kicks to Bender. Shoots from 12. No good that time. And Houston the other way now. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
And they really got after it from a defensive standpoint throughout that entire game. The turnovers they forced really tell the story.
There has to be a willingness to take chances, jumping for steals, getting out in passing lanes, and all of that worked in their favor.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we've seen James Harden become one of the most accomplished in the league at drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line. And he makes no apologies for his style. He said free throws are a part of basketball. I'm not necessarily going in there and trying to draw a foul, but if a person can't guard you, he has to foul you. Or I'm going to score every single time. Kevin?
Maybe the toughest cover in the league, DA. Thank you. Houston making some changes. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Montejunas comes in for Michael Beasley. And Gordon subbed in for Trevor Ariza. Brandon Knight's checked in for the Suns. And the shot is good. And that's now 21 points for James Harden.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he really carried the momentum from the last game right to this one. He is rolling.
For Phoenix, they have scored 6 points from their 8 attempts at the line so far. First free throw is good for the Rockets. Rockets trail by 15, setting the floor for the Suns. Prez, he's in at the 4 spot. Young is out there with Brandon Knight. Then it's P.J. Tucker, and it's Bender in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Over to the wing. Bender. The kick out to Young. It's good from long range. Young's got the 4th quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Suns. Now Beverly. Beasley the screen, and Beverly kicks to Harden. They get it back. Beasley, good on the shot.
Boy, terrific reaction to that missed shot. Reads right where it comes off the glass for the putback.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for Houston. Devin Booker, he's checked in for Phoenix. Doris, we asked fans to write in questions for you. We've had thousands, literally thousands of letters, emails coming in. The fans want you to answer questions. So here's one I just picked out of the fishbowl here. This is from Joe in Portland. What are your hobbies outside of basketball?
Yeah, I think this might surprise people, but I love to cook, Kevin. Not that I'm going to spend 3 hours in the kitchen, but having been the mother of 2 children, I love to cook. My daughter loves to cook with me. The other thing is I live at the ocean, so you can find me on the water.
I want to be one of your kids. My gosh.
It's not a bad life.
Now, I picture you as like with a towel towel draped over your shoulder and coaching, thinking it through, but enjoying the cooking process.
No, there's no question. I'll tell you what, if I make a good dish, just like John Thompson, the towel's over the shoulder, but if I have thrown it down, that towel goes in the air.
You can cook.
No question.
A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. And it's Beasley, that time in the assist by Nene.
His accuracy's been unbelievable, but they're getting dominated too many other areas.
Suns leading by 13. It's tipped. And here's Beverly. It's Ariza on the wing. Beasley dishes to Nene. Banked in off the glass.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Pheonix has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Prez kicks to Young. He dishes it to Prez. Back to Young. Prez with the screen for Young. Lock at 6. Here's Bender. And the call will be against Prez. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Rockets trail by 11. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Beverly the pass to Harden. Floats one, and the layup is good. Harden's got 23 points.
Well, you really have to be feeling it to go with the teardrop. That is not as easy as that looked.
Now here's Prez, guarded by Harden. Here's Prez, stolen by Harden. Beverly with the ball, and Young picks him up defensively. And it's in there. And it's 13 points for Beasley.
You know, very effective possession. You won't miss too many shots from that close range.
Prez kicks to Young. Passes it to Booker. Tries to snap the cold streak. Offensive rebound. Bender. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
If he were shooting even a little better, they would have a much bigger lead.
Ariza kicks to Nene.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
And that one falls for Nene.
Listen, we all know a healthy, motivated Nene is an elite player at both ends.
And Doris, it seems so often these days you don't see an interim head coach actually get the job at the end of the year. That was not the case with Earl Watson and the Suns. He showed what he could do, and management has given him the go-ahead.
Look, Kevin, I think it often feels like you're a placeholder as an interim, but good for the Suns front office for giving Watson the job. Not easy to do since Watson is such a young head coach, one of the youngest in the league, in fact.
Prez with the screen for Young. Shoots the 3. Bender, no good.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Another miss by Houston.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Prez, no good.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Ariza kicks to Beasley. That one doesn't go. Good defensive work there by Young. Suns leading by 6. Prez with the ball. Booker outside. Prez with the screen for Booker to stop the drought. And that one goes long. For Houston, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. Here's Beasley, and it's blocked.
You gotta respect the D. Prez just spiking the shot back thanks to that amazing reach.
The Suns shooting 43% from the field. Back to Young. And Tucker has it in the corner. Young outside. The feed to Prez. To the wing right side. Tucker can't get it to go.
He needs to stop shooting the ball right now. This is hurting his team.
Harden dishes to Ariza. Bender with the rebound. Bender's got 8 rebounds in this game. Goes up at the stripe, and he gets that one to go off the front iron. And the Suns lead by 6.
That's the kind of confidence Bender has in himself, ready to fire as soon as he gets the ball in his hand.
So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Bender, and so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. And the Suns making a change here. Chandler's checked in.
Well, free throw shooting is a constant cause of concern for them, and today that concern has been front and center.
Beverly against Young. Here's Harden. Pass to Nene. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Nene. .146 left to play here in the fourth. Booker outside. Perez passes to Tucker. There's the screen to the inside. Perez kicks to Booker. 6 to shoot. To the middle. Here's Perez. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
That is pure muscle from Perez, not letting anyone get in his way on these shots.
Booker against Harden. He kicks it to Nene. Chandler with the steal. We've got 1:08 left here in the fourth quarter. Perez dishes to Tucker. To the paint. It's tipped.
Well, the clock has become their worst enemy.
They need fast, efficient possessions, and that may not be enough.
Here's Young. Dishes it to Booker. Now here's Perez. Feeds to Tucker. It's Young on the wing. Pocket 6. The pass to Chandler.
Time running low here.
They have to score quickly and then foul immediately.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Here's Nene. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
6'11", broad-shouldered, tough for the defense to get that shot in the nays without fouling.
And he can't make the second free throw either, missing both. And so they choose to intentionally foul. Perez passes to Booker. Perez kicks to Booker, and that's an intentional foul. Good on the first, and that increases their lead to 6.
And what makes Perez special is his passion for the game. Any weakness he has, he works tirelessly to make it a strength.
Never a doubt on those free throws, and their lead is even more secure.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're behind by 7. So the Suns win it. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.
There he is.
Yo, Brett. Ernie and the guys in the studio want to talk to you.
All right, let's get it.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Prez.
Hey, Shaq here. Listen, you put in a lot of work on the boards. Was that your focus tonight?
You know, I didn't do anything special, really. You know, it's not something where I'm up all night studying the way my opponents like to position themselves or, you know, or how their shots tend to bounce off the rim. I just use my natural instinct, and typically it serves me well.
Spoken like a true great player. Just go and get it. I like it.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. I hope you have a wonderful, even beyond wonderful, a spectacular, just great. I mean, see you.
Good night.